What's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning into the Growth channel, where we grassrooting our wealth, tradition, and heritage. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Today, we'll talk about a story coming out of Florida. This is about Walmart and their ribeye steaks, and that they're, wrapping them, putting them in cages to reduce theft. When I saw this, man, I'm thinking, I wonder if this was like another half-truth, kind of like the $30 million for free crack pipe story that came out earlier this week. But no, this is actually legit. So we're gonna get into this story and we're gonna talk about this, inflation, housing prices, Joe Biden's response to inflation and all that, man. So let's sit down because I got a minute, All right, so this story comes out of the Daily Mail. I will put a link in the description box below. And it reads, now, even the steaks are being locked up. Florida Walmart is securing $20 ribeyes with mesh wiring and electronic security tags to prevent theft as crime soars nationally. Now, really, this take a while, I guess. Why do you think crime is soaring? See, the people out there who live, well, it's no longer middle class, but used to live middle class, who's, pretty well off financially, have always been pretty much well off financially. Don't really have to go through a lot of crime. Don't see a lot of crime in their area. The first thing they think when they hear about crime is, certain group of people, let's just say, black folks, poor people committing crimes. Why do they do that when they don't have anything? Not realizing that the reason the majority of crimes are committed is because people don't have things. When you see the studies, the old studies that people, these experts, used to conduct or still conduct now, they'll tell you, when you ain't got nothing, you don't even have to have a study. It's like, it just makes common sense. If you don't have anything, if you don't have nothing, you're gonna go out there and try to find any way possible, whether it's justified or not, whether you are out there working and nothing is coming about, so you gotta find some way to feed your family, or you just a criminal or just a thief, just for the hell of it, and you just gonna go out there and get it. So you have to learn how to differentiate the two types of people. That you do have people out there who are hungry, who are starving, who want to eat, and, even before now. And now the inflation that went up, and these prices went up, and these wages ain't matching this inflation. Even regular hard-working people, they getting into a life of crime because they're trying to make it. But anyway, let's get back to the story. It said Walmart has started securing high-priced steaks inside locked metal cages amid rising crime rates across the U.S. A new viral video has revealed. Michael Fromhold from Florida was stunned when he noticed that the meat in his local Walmart had been locked up in what appears to be a rather dramatic attempt to prevent people from stealing it. He said he took the video of it, shared it on TikTok, where it quickly went viral. I imagine it did, gaining more than 4 million views in a matter of days. And the clip led to some viewers to lament the fact that such measures have been necessary, which is true. The video showed the Angus beef wrapped and chained to an electronic security tag. Comes amid growing concern about the rising crime rates across the country, something that Michael quickly lamented on his post. Quote, "You gotta be kidding me," Michael began the video as he held up the protected meat. Walmart now has the steak locked up. Holy S, it's come to this. This is getting bad. Man, it's been getting bad. It ain't getting bad, it's gotten bad. It's just that now your people are starting to see it. These are things that people in the black community, people in the poor communities, they've seen this since for a long time. And now everybody's seeing it. Everybody's starting to see it. It is unclear whether or not the cages are being used in all Walmart stores across the country, or whether the company is implementing the safety measures in stores that are located in areas of high crime. I guarantee it's in areas of high crime. DailyMail.com reached out to Walmart spokesperson for comment. Many people share the dismay over Walmart's new protective measure in the comment section, which one called the world we live in sad, and it's been sad. Another slammed all the low lives that are out there robbing stores. Again, I can understand that sentiment to a degree. You do have people who are criminals for whatever reason and got comfortable in committing crimes, and that's what they do, they steal. But again, when you got people now, Steaks, when you got people that are in need, a lot of people who normally wouldn't steal, got to figure out a way to make it, man. That's just the way it is. When you got areas that don't have a lot of opportunities for people to make a living, when you have stores like McDonald's that are paying $10, $12, $10 for part-time, $12 for full-time, and this is out here close to my neighborhood, and McDonald's they just recently built, and it's been up at least a month or so, and there's a hiring sign out there that's been out there since day one, and it's going to continue to be out there as long as you're trying to pay $10 and $12. Grown folks can't do that. These kids don't have time for it, but like I said, grown folks you can't live off $10, $12 unless you living in a house full of other grown folks and y'all pitching in, which would be a different video, and which is something that I do believe that matter of fact, let me touch on it now. That is something I do believe that we're going to have to end up getting back to, is people pooling resources together to make it, which isn't a bad thing, because that's how it's been done since the beginning of time. Everybody can live in a house, work together, everybody pitching in, pooling in money to make life comfortable for each other, for your family. And then if it's time for somebody to go off to school, the money's there. The support group is there. Somebody trying to go out on their own, branch out and do their thing. When the youngest come up and try to do their own thing, the money, the resources is there. But even as you branch out, you still help support the family. And that's what it has gotten to. That's what needs to happen. But anyway, like I say, low lives. Some people just have now Steaks. Like I say, that's another story. I mean, don't you go steal the bologna, steal the Spam or stuff like that, or the hot dogs, so not Steaks. That's trying to, that's people, trying to do a little too much. It says, sorry to say, another quote says, sorry to say it'll only get worse as information continues to rise and food shortages start to impact us. Food shortages have impacted us. Went to the store the other day looking for paper towels. Luckily I got a pack, but the aisle was pretty much empty. A lot of the aisles in the grocery stores now, at least I heard this neighborhood. I went to a grocery store in another city, a neighboring city, and shoot, they shelf stock. So it just all depends on where you go and how much supplies are. Someone else suggested that cages were installed to stop people from changing the price stickers, not to prevent theft. Man, that's far and between. Because even when you try to change the price stickers, usually they tell you you put the meat down on top of the scale on the register, it's going to weigh it out. So I mean, they could do that. They can, what I'm saying, if you scan it and you put it down and it don't weigh, it's going to trigger an alarm, and the staff is going to come. How are we supposed to get that thing off? Asked the different TikTok user. They only have 2 employees in the whole store, and we have to check out ourselves. And that's what your problem is. You have no employees. But again, you're not paying your employees. Like I was saying about McDonald's, they're paying like $15 for a manager. A managerial position is an adult position. $15 an hour, as you know, is not going to pay the bills if you got a family. If they want you to work 10, 12 hours a day, how you gonna get a part-time? Where you gonna get a part-time job? And now you can work 20. No, where you gonna get another job? Where you gonna the time? How you gonna have time to get another job? There were times where I had 2 jobs where, work 2 jobs in the day, get like 4 or 5 hours sleep. It's doable. But if you're working 10, 12 hours in one job, Okay, maybe you're working 5-6 hours another job. I mean, it's doable. I mean, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. But again, man, like I said, $15 an hour to be a manager, that's a big headache. You know, that's a big headache, and it's a lot to deal with for $15. And eventually, like I said, grown folks, they're gonna quit it. They're gonna get tired of that. People have to steal to afford to eat. It's a shame, bro. Another, which is true. I don't know which is worse, the fact that it's locked up or that it's almost $21. They say in this country, you got to make at least $21 an hour to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. Can you imagine working a whole hour just to buy one meal? That's kind of like, that's how you got to look at it. I mean, plain and simple. Work a whole hour to afford a pack of steaks, which is, the way it looks, is enough for 2 people. Can't feed your whole family while working a whole hour. If you're making $15 an hour, $15, man, I could feed myself for 2-3 days. But now, $21 an hour, I can't even buy a pack of steaks for me and you know what I'm saying, and somebody else. Others who say they were former grocery store employees themselves share their own experiences with robbery. They say, I'm not surprised one person wrote, I worked retail for many years and had regular thieves just as much as customers. You'd be surprised how many people try to walk out with me. I've seen it before. I worked in grocery stores. You know, I worked, Menards, Walmart. I've seen it happen. People, that's what they do. They put meat, you know what I'm saying, in their pants, they put it in their hat, put it in their shirt, under their coat, try to walk out with it. Meat is, I don't know, man. I guess meat is like crack. Yeah, people put it down their pants and everything, very different comment. It's nuts, but it's necessary. Some people on Twitter also claim that Walmart has been locking up crab meat. Quote, the Walmart by us so ghetto, they locked up the crab legs. A man named Charlie tweeted last January. This is so effing ghetto because why the Walmart near me lock up the canned crab? Because it's expensive and people be stealing. Exactly. That's what other people put in value. I guess crab meat is a high commodity out here in Richmond, Virginia. They have it under lock and key at the Walmart neighborhood market. The third message read, I couldn't bring myself to buying this last container of protected crab meat. According to FBI data, there were a total of 1.3 million violent offenses reported in America during 2020. Now, why they put that in the store, I don't know. Talk about violence, because we just talking about somebody grabbing steaks, putting down the pants and walking off. But why they added violent offenses to this story to prove a point, makes it seem like there's always an added political agenda somewhere. In Florida, where Michael lives, and Michael is Anglo-American, just so y'all know, there's a violent crime rate of 384 incidences for every 100,000 people. The Nonpartisan Council of Criminal Justice released a study last month that confirmed homicide rates would be climbing throughout major U.S. cities. Again, why are we talking about violent crimes and homicide when somebody trying to run up out of the store with a steak? I don't understand the correlation. I mean, maybe they're saying, hey, eventually it can get to a point to where, there are gonna be some violent crimes and maybe some homicides when people try to steal these steaks because, I've said before, they're gonna price us out this country. They're trying to price us out this country. So, like I say, it's gonna be best that we all just, like I say, pull together, get together, hunker down as a clan and to survive, because that's where it's going. And this day he talks about the murder rate in Chicago, my God, aggravated assault and gun assault. Oh man, let's see. They didn't talk about New York crime, overall crime. Like I say, robberies are up in New York 33%. Overall crime was up 38%. But like again, you're adding in felony assaults, murders, and shooting victims. And we're talking about crab legs. I'm confused about that. But anyway, like I said, that's crazy. But brings us to, like I say, inflation. Again, why in the hell are steaks costing $21? But as I said, if you've been paying attention to the news, recently they said inflation went up 7.5% in the month of January, which is like, they said, the biggest increase in 40 years. Now, look at this article here on the Today Show. We're gonna go over here. It said the inflation rate soaring. Biden weighs in on when America can expect relief. President Biden reacted to the release of a consumer price index showing that prices rose in January at the highest rate in 40 years. President Joe Biden said inflation should, quote, start to taper off as we go through this year. Come on, dude. As prices continue to rise at the highest rate in 40 years. What you mean taper off? Because they're not tapering up. Them things going full-fledged bald head haircut. Ain't no taper. I mean, with the inflation. Biden spoke with NBC, now the news anchor Lester Holt, about a wide range of topics, including the soaring inflation rate, in an exclusive interview excerpt on today, Friday. The latest release of the monthly consumer price index by the Bureau of Labor Statistics on Thursday reported that inflation rose to 7.5% for the month of January compared to the same last year, the fastest pace since 1982. Man, I was born in 77. I know nothing about that, but I bet I'm feeling the effects now. This is why, again, I said in previous videos, you got to start preparing your kids for the future. You got to get them ready. You got to get yourself. You got to do what you can for them, so that when they get your age, 40 years from now, you ain't hearing the story. But if you do hear this story, it's not affecting you like it's not affecting your kids and your grandkids like it affecting you now, or it affected you 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? The average U.S. household is spending an additional $276 a month on goods and services due to rising inflation, according to Moody's Analytics Incorporated. $278 a month. If you're making $10 an hour, let's just say that, you're working 40 hours a week, before taxes, $400, right? Times 4, $1,600. This is all before taxes, like without taxes. So $1,600, say you bring home $1,200, $1,600. Let's say you bring home $1,200, $1,300. Let's say $1,300 a month. Well, sure in the hell they finna pay no rent, because rent gonna run you $1,200 easy, so you got no check. So let's just double it. Let's say you make it $20 a month. Okay, so you bring home 20. Let's say double it, 16, 32, 24, whatever. Let's say $20 a month times 4 is 800. 800 times 4, 32. So you bring home about $2,500 a month. Okay, so let's say you got an apartment and it's running, like I say, $1,200 a month. So that's $1,300 that you left with, which is, it's a nice substantial amount of money, I guess. But I say, if you paying grocery bills, $400, car note, another $500. That wipes it out. Let's say electricity, gas. I'm talking about like in the house gas, but let's just say you're paying electricity, gas, gas for your car, another 100, another 200. Wipes it out real quick. So now, let's say you got, on average, you have a couple $100 left over for a month. This story says on average, you're paying an additional $276 a month. Where do you get the other $76? For that $76, like I said, for that $200 you had saving up you had left over for the month to do other stuff that you're probably spending it. What are you doing? Where's that other $76 coming from? See, get the picture. Get the picture. According to Nobel laureates, this is a quote from your President Joe Biden. According to Nobel laureates, 14 of them that contacted me, and a number of corporate leaders from General Motors to Ford to Intel to the utility companies I met with 2 days ago, yesterday, it ought to start to taper off as we go through this year. How did they say it's going to taper off, old President? The sectors most affected by prices increases were food, which is what you need, shelter, which is what everybody needs, and electricity, which is what everybody needs. It's amazing that the stuff that you need the most, that's what's most affected by this inflation. So again, how are you supposed to? This is just homelessness. This is just creating homelessness. Period. Like I said before, they are going to price us out of this country, of being able to afford them. So you can't price out the country, but they're gonna price out your homes, your cars, your way of living, and y'all gonna be poor. But you got, shout out to Jim Jones, no knock on Jim Jones, but you got Jim Jones up there making a video about how Gucci ain't showing him respect when he go in there to go spend money. And I don't care if it was Gucci, Prada, Armada, Fubu, Crocodile. It doesn't really matter, but you're talking about I'm about to spend $20,000 on some clothes, and you got people out here starving, man. Can't even buy a pack of steaks for $21. I mean, my thing is, I guess it's the timing. It's the timing of the video. That's all I'm saying. Let's see, whether it's increased prices for eggs and bacon, or companies like Amazon and Disney charging more for the services, Americans have had to contend with higher prices across a range of sectors. Biden was reminded that he said in July the price hike would be temporary. It to have continued more than 6 months later. So you can't trust on damn politicians. You remember what's his name? Donald Trump said that the coronavirus is going to be done by Easter 2 years ago, and it done got worse. It's been going on for damn near 3 years. So now he's saying that Biden sat there and said that this price hike will be temporary, and now it got worse. He says, let's look at the reasons for the inflation. Biden said the reason for the inflation is the supply chains were cut off, meaning the products, for example, automobiles, the lack of computer chips to be able to build those automobiles so they could function. Biden also responded to an announcement by multiple Democratic governors to roll back indoor mask requirements during the pandemic at schools and other venues. The hell with that. Talking about computer chips. What computer chips got to do with me eating, bro? Everybody grow your own food. Go get you some seeds, grow your own, start growing food. Everybody in the neighborhood, in the projects, in the hood, everybody grow one thing and just barter with each other, you know? Omicron and all variants have had a profound impact on the psyche of the American people. Biden said, for example, think of all the kids who didn't go to the prom, all the graduations that didn't occur, all the things. I mean, it has to have a real psychological impact. Being broke has a psychological impact on people. Not having the opportunities to, one, go to grocery stores in the hood, because there ain't none, because it's what they call food deserts. Two, not getting the education and not being supported. You know what I'm saying? You got all this money, you can create $30 million to give. I don't give a damn if it's crack pipes, heroin pipes, or whatever the case. You got money to try to help curb addiction, but you want to curb lack of education. You know, you can curb the crime rate real simple by giving everybody an opportunity to make an honest living. Read an article last week, I think I brought to you guys, that in Texas they said for a basic life in Texas, a person needs to make at least $17 an hour, but the minimum wage is $7.50. How in the world do you suspect or expect your people to survive on $7.50, on $10, on $12? How do you expect people to survive and not think of committing crimes? Not think of, I'm just gonna put it out there, doing drugs or committing suicide or killing people? How do you think you're gonna curb that by coming up with these bullshit ass statements that ain't fixing nothing? You are not trying to fix a thing. You just saying, wait it out. Grown folks ain't got time to wait it out. Because again, you said 6 months ago this was gonna be gone, and it's not. So now, grown folks ain't got time to wait it out. Grown folks are like, man, we gotta get out here and make it happen. Biden called the decision to roll back the mandates premature, but acknowledged that it's a tough call. Because people are going out of business. You got people going out of business because of these mask mandates, man. People are like, shoot, I'd rather have my business open. Now I can kind of see what these Texas governors and attorney generals and stuff are kind of saying. Back when they said, man, take these masks off and let's get out here and make this money, because they know, just like Biden knows, when people get to a certain point and they get desperate, all the gloves off. Forget a mask mandate, forget an Omicron variant, forget all this stuff. Because I gotta do what I gotta do to make money. There's people out here taking penitentiary chances, life and death chances every day to put food on their family's table. coronavirus, it's no different. It's no different. The president, then he's talking about the standoff with Russia and Putin and all that. So that's only going to bring more money. All that's going to do is bring more money to the government, to the stock market, and the stock prices are going to go up. So y'all, if y'all studying the stock market, pay attention to this Putin and this war with Russia, because if it goes down, yeah, people that have invested the money, they about to get rich. They're about to get rich for real, but that's a whole nother stuff. Anyway, that's all I got for this story, man. Tell me what y'all think, man. Like I said, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Caging up $20 steaks. I mean, people getting mad because it's affecting everybody. It was all right when they was caging up, the black hair care products in Walmart. Somebody said something, and people like, black folks need to stop stealing. But now, shoot, everybody going to have to deal with it because everybody's stealing. But anyway, like I said, let me know what you think of the story. Leave your comments in the box below. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, if you want to support the channel, go down there, click in the description box, the website, buy some product. If you want to donate, that's fine. Got no problem with it. I welcome it. But like I said, if you want something that you expect, that you would think of as a fair exchange, buy some product, and that way you get product and you get these videos, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're trying to start a YouTube channel, click on that tube button link below. It'll help you start the channel. It'll give you the ideas, the recent topics, the hot topics, or the keywords to create these videos and get more views. Because that's what it's all about, bringing this information out to the people. And with that being said, again, thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.